Hello. I've been asked a number of times by people recently about what is the minimum safety equipment that I should take with me going into the outdoors if I'm going hill walking or generally off the beaten track. My name's Chris Terrell, and in this video I'm going to talk about two items which I now carry with me at all times of year and in most conditions, which can make a real difference to that. I'm going to use a real-life example to illustrate why these things are important and then get on to the details. But if you'd rather skip the story and go straight ahead to that, then please click the time codes in the description below. I've been involved over the years in a number of mountain rescue situations. I used to be a member of a mountain rescue team, and one in particular comes to mind. We were called out one night in the winter to try and find somebody who'd got into difficulties on some very steep, difficult ground in an area where there were quite a few different gullies. Nobody knew precisely where this person was. Occasionally we could hear this person shouting, but the problem was that the wind was blowing their voice so that the sound came up different gullies each time. Further down the valley, the people who were controlling the search could see us. We had very bright lights, but they couldn't see any sign of the person we were looking for. We were getting quite worried. So as I said earlier, I'm going to talk about two items that I now carry with me and that I'd like to recommend you think about carrying as well. They're very lightweight, they're very cheap, they're very compact, and they're very effective. The first thing is some kind of light. Now, the ideal thing, of course, would be to carry a good purpose-built head torch, which means you have your hands free. They're designed for being used in the outdoors. But as a minimum and as a backup, I'm now carrying one of these. It's a little light, one of a pair that's designed to go on a bike. They're very cheap. The pair of them cost me about €6, around about £5 or £6, or about $6 or $7 US. In the flashing mode, it's very good for attracting attention as a signaling device. And in the steady mode, I find this gives me enough light that I can actually walk using this to guide the way, and it gives enough light that I could certainly get to a safer position, if not actually off the hill altogether. The advantage with these as well, these particular ones are powered by a watch battery, and those batteries with these kind of lights I find have a good long battery life, and they also have this useful feature built in, so there's nothing to lose off it. This silicone loop designed for attaching it to the bike, but it also makes it ideal for attaching to a rucksack strap or to my belt or a walking pole or maybe a branch if I'm taking shelter. Very, very versatile little lamps. The advantage with the light, of course, is it can be seen over a very long distance. So anybody searching for you, it makes it much easier for them to find you. If you're lucky enough to be searched for by a helicopter, a thing to bear in mind is that they'll probably be using some kind of night vision device, and if the helicopter's close by, you should not shine this at the helicopter directly because you can actually dazzle the night vision equipment that the pilot's using. So if a helicopter does get close to you, if you're in that situation, then please remember not to shine your torch at it, but shine it at the ground, and they'll still see you very well. The second thing is to be able to make a loud noise. It's very tiring and not so effective to try and keep shouting over a long period of time. It doesn't carry as well as a whistle. Simple, cheap, it hangs around your neck, it weighs nothing at all, and they're very loud. This carries well even over the wind. This is much more effective than your voice, and it's much easier to use if, say, you're getting thirsty or you're getting tired, perhaps you're unwell or injured, or if you're trying to look after somebody else and trying to just deal with the situation generally. A whistle's much easier. There is an international distress signal that you can give, 6 blasts of a whistle in a minute. So these two items of kit together, they weigh only a few grams, they'll fit in a pocket or around your neck, and they're very effective and very useful things. I would strongly recommend that you consider carrying these, especially if you're a runner and you're trying to minimize the weight of stuff that you're carrying. Look how small these are. This could really make a difference if there's any problems. Of course, there are other things that you need to consider as well. You need to think about keeping warm, keeping dry, keeping hydrated, a reserve of energy in the form of food. And if your navigation is centered around using a mobile phone or a GPS, my personal opinion is that I wouldn't want to rely on those completely. And I would recommend that you in any case, carry a paper map of the area that you're going to operate in and a compass, and of course, yes, know how to use them. That way you'll be properly set up, if there's anything goes wrong, or if you encounter anybody else who may need assistance. If you're relying on a mobile phone for summoning assistance and you find that you're losing signal or battery power, then you need some kind of alternative that's more reliable. So, what happened with the mountain rescue? Well, we had to search down several different gullies in the end, gradually went further down some gullies we'd already searched, and finally we did find the person. We were able to attach them to the rope and bring them up, and they were able to walk off the hill, and the whole thing ended well, and it was a happy ending, fortunately for everybody. No injuries. It just took a long time. The big lesson from that particular rescue for me was that if the person had had even a whistle, that would have helped. It would have been easier to have heard the sound they were making. But more importantly, if they'd had any kind of light, even a little tiny light like this, then we could have found that person within an hour, both because we could have seen the light and because the people in the valley controlling the search would have been able to line up our lights with the person's light, and we could have just gone straight down on top of them in one go. So if you found this of some value, then please click the like button and share it with your friends. Please think about these things that I've mentioned. It can make a real difference. Enjoy your time in the outdoors, be safe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.